West to Water Sports, ahoy! Welcome back. Oh, God, welcome back. The second of a doubleheader here. The Strikers versus the Heat. The Brisbane Heat looking to establish themselves inside the top four. And the Strikers looking to lift themselves off the bottom of the table and keep their slim finals chances alive. The Brisbane Heat have won the bat flip. They're elected to field first. And as always, my tip goes to the team fielding first and chasing. We ended up seeing a very good game between the Sixers and the Scorchers. It got away from the Scorchers a wee bit. Well, not just a wee bit. It got away from the Scorchers a lot. Very, very quickly in that previous game. But we ended up with a little bit of life in the game at the back end. And hopefully another good one here. In the second of the doubleheader, the Brisbane Heat have won the bat flip and they've elected to field first. The Sydney Sixers won the last game. Caden. They set the Scorchers 221 to win. And they ended up falling, the Scorchers, that is, ended up falling about... I think it was about 16 runs short in the end. 15 or 16 runs short. They made a solid effort trying to chase down that total. It really was a good game in the end. They just left themselves a little bit too much to do. Lost too many early wickets, did the Scorchers. But yes, welcome back. The second of our doubleheader tonight as the Brisbane Heat take on the Adelaide Strikers in Adelaide. Welcome back. Are we all recovered from that last game? The Sydney Sixers over the top of the Scorchers. I thought momentarily it just looked like there might be a little bit of life left in that game. But ultimately just left themselves too much to do there. The Scorchers. It was still a lot of fun. Look, I took the punt. I considered it a 50-50 game. I took the punt and I went for the Scorchers in the tipping comp. Decided I would not play it safe. I like to live dangerously. It ultimately cost me there. Hopefully my team, the Brisbane Heat, can come through with the goods and I can maintain my position on top of the Wasted Water Sports Tipping League. Matt Short to open the batting here. As I said, the Brisbane Heat won the bat flip and elected to field first. And Chris Lynn's opening. Well, this will be interesting. Chris Lynn against his former team. Opening the batting. Looking for a big statement. Michael Neser to open the bowling. The Ness. And here we go. Game number 2 underway. What a magnificent looking stadium, by the way. Neser gets some swing away from Short. The right-hander. Just a little bit too much. Giving him too much room there on the offside. And he's able to just cut it away for 2. And we're off and running here. Adelaide Strikers, Brisbane Heat. Game number 2 of this doubleheader. Off and running. Neser in again. Oh, right in the zone. And Matt Short just lifts it over the leg side for 4 runs. Well, that's a poor ball. A brutal delivery. Unfortunately, this game just kicked on. Like, when I say kicked on, I mean we literally went straight from the last one into this one. So I didn't get a chance to get a multi on for this game, unfortunately. Drifting onto the pads again, but a little fuller this time, and Short turns it away for a single. I mean, honestly, if you win the toss and elect to bowl first, you've got to bowl better than that. Neser just chucking up meat pies. Here we go. Chris Lynn on strike. Lynn loves to score runs against his former club. Neser, Heat Neser into Lynn. Lynn charges him, beats the man in the circle, and that's ripped through the covers for 4. Lockie Bragger, ahoy, mate. Oh, this is a dream start for the Strikers. Sent into bat. And Chris Lynn. Well, I've been saying all night, for those of you who joined for the first game, the Sixers and the Scorchers, I've been saying all night, as a Brisbane Heat fan, I'm very, very concerned about Chris Lynn tonight. He loves to make a mockery of the decision to let him go. And he loves getting runs against the Heat. Turns this one off the hip. Just a single. 12 runs off this over so far. 1 ball to go. Not a good start for Neser. I wouldn't have had him opening the bowling. I don't understand it. Look, I'm no expert. I'm no coach. I'm no captain. But when you've got Xavier Bartlett and Spencer Johnson, assuming they're both playing, as this one swings back into the right-hander. An appeal for LBW, but way too high. None for 12 off the first over. A good start here for the Strikers. But yes, if Xavier Bartlett and Spencer Johnson are both playing, surely they open the bowling. Bartlett at one end, Johnson at the other. And you saved Neser maybe for over 3 or 4. But, I mean, hey, as I said, I'm no coach. I'm no captain. I'm just some lout who streams games on social media. The Sydney Sixers got the big win over the Scorchers in the previous game. And here is Xavier Bartlett to bowl the second over. But unfortunately, like, at none for 12 after the first over, you put undue pressure on him. He'll feel the pressure now to try and contain this over. As Lynn charges, gets the top edge, and it's over the circle. Races away for 4. Oh, Chris Lynn, I had a feeling he's coming after us tonight. He is coming after his former team. And he could very well have a day out. Christopher Lynn, not mucking about. None for 16, 1.1. Slower ball on the pads, pushed out for a quick single, direct hit. But Lynn stretches out. And he gets there at the danger end. Racing through for a quick single. Three boundaries already for the Strikers. Been a very, very rapid start. Five off this over so far for Bartlett. Matt Short about to face his first ball from Bartlett. 7 or 4 so far for him. 10 or 4 for Lynn. A good start here for the home side. Bartlett into Short. Nice straight delivery. Full and on the stumps. Short just pushes it out to mid-off. No run. The real Sixers fan, is Marnus playing? No, I don't believe so. Marnus and Khawaja are only available for one game. And I don't think it's this game. Bartlett in again, driven down to mid-off. They take the single this time. None for 18, 1.4 gone. A good recovery for Xavier Bartlett after that first ball. Edged away for 4, top edged. Away to the boundary for 4. Lynn turns this off the pads, beats the man in the circle. And it's out to deep square leg for 2 runs. Very well run. None for 20. Good start here for the Strikers. Going on the attack early. Final ball of the second over. Lynn charges again, lifts it over the top of mid-on, and that's going to race away for 4 more. Well, he's in a mood here, Chris Lynn. Oh, I said it, didn't I? I said it. For those who joined us for the Sixers versus the Scorchers, I just had this feeling, this Chris Lynn sort of feeling in the pit of my stomach. And he's having a night out at the moment. I mean, when you think about it, it makes sense. I mean, if a club lets you go and you join a new club, as soon as that matchup happens, you really want to make a statement, don't you? So you're sort of more than usual. You're kind of more than normal focused on just going on and making a big score. Houston footy, ahoy there. Who do I think will win? Well, I'd like to think that the Brisbane Heat, but this has been a great start for the Strikers. None for 24 of 2. And Neser back into the attack. Swing and a miss at this from Matt Short. He had a big baseball swing at that, and that's a strike. Smith got man of the match. Yes, it had to happen. It had to happen. Even if there was any consideration of Sean Abbott stealing the man of the match, I think that was all gone when he bowled that third from last over, and he got absolutely tonked. A Short rocks onto the back foot, pulls it away for 4. And the Strikers here traveling along very nicely. Excuse me. Ethan Palmer, I would love to think that the Brisbane Heat are going to win, but this is a fantastic start. Now Short pulls it away. 1 bounce. Protection out there on the boundary at deep square leg. Well fielded. Keeps it down to just 1. Five from the over so far. None for 29. Ball toss. Slower ball. And Lynn cuts it away. Oh, he is in a mood, Chris Lynn. He is in a mood. 20 runs off 7 balls. A little bit of Lynn sanity against his former club. And the pressure is on big time. The Brisbane Heat winning the toss and electing to field. And they're under the pump early. Under the pump early here. The Strikers have started well. Neser bangs it in short. Lynn gets it fine. I don't think there was any bat on it. It's off his stomach. And it'll be away for leg byes. 2 of them. Very good start for the Strikers indeed, Mads. For those who are here, I've mentioned it a couple of times, but as new people continue to drift in, I did say in the last game, I was very, very concerned about Chris Lynn tonight. Going up against his former club, and now he rocks this one. Square of the wicket on the leg side for a big 6. 26 runs off 9 for Christopher Lynn. He's having a day out. Well, this is incredible. The Brisbane Heat winning the toss and electing to field first have got to bowl better than this. Got to do better than this. Really, really dreadful start. "93 metres back into the stands, and it's none for 41 after 3. Oh, they're destroying them at the moment. Dear, oh dear. 3 overs gone, none for 31. 13.67 is the run rate. And they're turning to spin immediately here. The Brisbane Heat have said enough of this pace. We're going to slow it down. Kuhnemann into the attack. Turning to the spinners to try and just reel things in here. Been a really poor start with the ball. Kuhnemann's not exactly been in the best form in BBL 14 so far. So it's an interesting call. We'll see if it pays dividends. The last of the power play overs. Kuhnemann in to short. Gives himself room and drills it through the offside for 4. A terrible start. Oh, dear. Deary, deary me. Matt Short and Chris Lynn putting on a clinic. Brisbane Heat under the pump. Winning the toss and electing to field. And they have put themselves under immense pressure early here. Short just gets a little under edge on this and it goes fine. Down the leg side, through for a single. Chris Lynn on strike. Kuhnemann in. Lynn backs away, gives himself room, can't beat the man in the circle. A dot ball. An unusual dot ball. Kuhnemann floats it up. Lynn just lifts it over the offside for 6. Cool, calm, collected, casual, as you like. And Chris Lynn's in a mood here. None for 52 off 3.4, and this one could be over already. A poor start here for the Heat. Winning the toss, electing to field. You've got to do better than none for 52 with two balls to bowl in the power play. Projected score is 284. Well, obviously they won't get that because the fielding restrictions are about to end. But, geez, they've set themselves up for a very, very big score nonetheless. Kuhnemann into Lynn again. Backs away. Lifts it over the top of the offside for 4 more. Well, this is just poor bowling. Kuhnemann banged that in way too short. None for 56. This has got to be up there as one of the best power plays of the BBL 14 so far. Certainly in the games that I've covered. And Lynn goes for another 4. Well, it's 6. He gets down on the one leg and cuts it away. Square of the wicket on the offside for 6. Chris Lynn is 42 off 13. It's none for 62 after 4 overs. The Brisbane Heat are getting trounced here. They won the toss. They elected to field. And clearly the best power play that we've seen, certainly in BBL 14, if not in history. None for 62. What a disaster here for the Brisbane Heat. Finals are on the line, and they turn to Spencer Johnson. Chris Lynn, 42 off 13. Spencer Johnson into the bowling attack. What can he do? Matt Short on strike. Johnson beats the bat. Big appeal for LBW, but it's way too high, and it races away for four-leg buys. There might have been an edge on that, but I think it was way too high anyway. Short was back in the crease. I would not waste a review on this. Well, it looks like they are going to waste a review on this. Wow. There were a couple of noises there, and also height is a big issue. I understand their desperation. They need a breakthrough, and they need a breakthrough fast, but geez, this is an ambitious challenge. Pitch is in line. Hits in line. We're checking for an edge. No edge, but yeah, look at the height. This is going a mile over the stumps. At the very, very absolute best, this will be umpire's call. But it seems to be going a mile over the stumps. And the Brisbane Heat, well, it's pitched outside leg. Well, there you go. I thought it was pitching in line. It's pitching outside leg, so that's it immediately. Never mind anything else. Well, things are going from bad to worse early here for the Brisbane Heat, because they've now lost their review. They have burnt their review. And their horror start continues, and they've now got no reviews left. Johnson into short. Turns it away to the leg side for no run. Now, I'd like to see a replay again of that LBW appeal. I'm just wondering if the wicketkeeper there, if he joined in the appeal. There were 4 buys. I just wonder if he appealed and contributed to letting that go through, or if it just beat him anyway, naturally. I'd be curious to see. Doggies on top. Ahoy there, mate. How disappointing was Constance? Yeah, Sam Constance just didn't ever look comfortable. As Matt Short just flicks this off the pads for 6 over long leg. Well, the Brisbane Heat are looking absolutely amateurish here. They are looking like a bloody... God, I don't know. Words. I can't even put the words together right now as to just how bad they are. Oh, the player in the crowd has got some blood. Short punches this to the offside. Easy 2, maybe 3. It's racing over this outfield. $320 was the predicted total. 15.86. Is this just is this a small ground, or? Well, this has gone straight up in the air. Oh, it's got enough on it. Short just lifts this up at 6 more. This has got to be a small ground, right? Because Matt Short in no way got hold of that. He just got under it, scooped it up in the air. That has not come out of the middle of the bat, but he has just scooped it up. And it has comfortably cleared the fence. And Matt Short now is 32 of 16. Chris Lynn, 42 of 13. Spencer Johnson, 1 ball left. Gets the outside edge. And there's protection down there at third man. Just a single. None for 80. None for 81 or 5 overs. Marcus, ahoy there, mate. This is on Foxtel/KO. What a start for the home side, being sent into bat, losing the toss and being sent in. Taylor says this is an insane run rate. Tell me about it. I did say, for those of you who joined the Sixers vs. Scorchers game, you might have heard me say that I'm very, very concerned about Chris Lynn tonight. Well, Chris Lynn's got some help. Matt Short, 33 of 17. Chris Lynn, 42 of 13. None for 81. Holy hell. Swepson into the attack. Gets the outside edge. And a dot ball. Christ, I've nearly just whacked the bollocks off my microphone. I was going to do a sarcastic round of applause for a dot ball. Swepson floats this one up. Send Gremlin says, don't think we have a chance of retaining the title this year. Been playing awful. Well, the recruitment and retention's been awful as well. I mean, well, Swepson and Kuhnemann have not been bowling as well as they did last year. I can't believe that we kept Colin Munro and let Josh Brown go. That doesn't make any sense. Why do we continue to waste money on Marnus, Labuschagne and Usman Khawaja, who only ever play 1 or 2 games a season? Spend that money on somebody who's actually going to be there through the entire season. Anyway, my complaints about the Brisbane Heat could go on and on and on and on and on. Last year's team was really good. And what's Jimmy Pearson done to... Is Jimmy Pearson... I don't think he's injured. If Jimmy Pearson's injured, then okay, fair enough, obviously. But what's Pearson done to the coach or the selectors to constantly miss out? Anyway, Swepson. Final ball here of the 6th over. Chris Lynn's on 43, just fends it back. Swepson army rolls and collects this one. 7 runs off the over, and how just embarrassing is it to say that none for 7 off his first over is a good over? I mean, that's an embarrassment. Whoops. An absolute embarrassment that none for 7 is considered a fantastic over. None for 88 after 6 overs here. The Adelaide Strikers, 14.67. They are cruising along at the moment. Chris Lynn, 43 of 15. Matt Short, 39 of 21. I understand that logic, big balls, but when they only play 1 game a season, it hardly seems worth it, does it? They're always busy on test duty as this is right in the slot, and Matt Short pulls it away for 6. I mean, that's poor bowling. That is a half volley right in the slot. And Matt Short has just tonked this about 74 rows back. None for 94. 6.1 overs gone. This is like playing Shane Warne cricket 99. Just hitting sixes off every ball. Slower delivery. Punched back down the ground for one. Short goes to 46. Chris Lynn back on strike. No, the games tonight are exclusive on Foxtel. Charlie V. Oh, boy. Stick cricket. Oh, what a game. Slower ball here from Bartlett. Cut away, but protection out there at point. Just a single. Lynn goes to 44. Good old stick cricket. Xavier Bartlett, 3 balls left. Full toss lifted into the stands. Not getting the length right there, Xavier Bartlett. And Matt Short brings up his 50. Well, can you believe that Matt Short has beaten Chris Lynn to the 50? It is none for 102. 6.4 overs gone. This is an absolute annihilation. The Brisbane Heat won the toss and elected to field first. And what a mockery of the decision that's become. Slower ball, pace off, Matt Short. Chops it off the top edge, short of the man. For a dot ball. Cameron says this is the Strikers I know. Oh, wait a minute. It's all in capitals. Cameron says, this is the Strikers I know. None for 102 after 6.5. Wow. 1 ball left here for Xavier Bartlett. Slower ball again, taking the pace off. Short just bangs it back down for a dot ball. None for 102 off 7. I need to do a clip of during the Sixers and the Scorchers game. I got asked a couple of times on my thoughts for the next game. So this one, Strikers versus the Heat. I need to do a clip of it because I swear to God, I very specifically said, there is just a feeling in the pit of my stomach. I'm very concerned about Chris Lynn tonight. I mean, there is just something about coming up against your former club that would just give you extra motivation. It makes sense, right? I mean, it's kind of like if you work for a company, that company lets you go, so you go and work for a rival company. You put in 110% to make that rival company overtake the old one, right? So Chris Lynn was destined for a big game tonight. He just always seems to lift when he takes on the Heat. And there's another 2 for Matt Short. Highest opening partnership. Oh, yes, highest opening partnership. 105. Swepson into Short. Floats it up outside off. Short gives himself some room. Just chops this away out to the fence. A single. None for 106. Wow. Lynn gets down on one leg. Well, down on one knee, I should say. He was on both legs still. 10 and over from here gets them 230. They're going at 13.96. That's got to come down at some point. I mean, wickets will fall. But, geez, you would have to think they get over 200. Well, Matt Short just rocks onto the back foot. Drills it through the offside, through the covers for 4. You would think that they have to slow down eventually. If these two stay out there, I mean, if the Brisbane Heat don't make any breakthroughs and these two are still batting, God, it could be 250, 260. But you would expect wickets will happen. That will slow things down a little bit, but they're still in for a plus 200 score. Even with a few quick wickets, the foundation has been laid for a 200-plus score. 8 overs gone, none for 113. Or 112. 112. None for 112. Kuhnemann back into the bowling attack. Matt Short, 60 off 30. Lynn, 46 off 18. Isaac, B&B, I think it's a combination of good batting and just really, really poor bowling. Just disgraceful bowling. But take nothing away from how the Strikers have started. You know what this is? This is the Brisbane Heat of like... This is the Brisbane Heat of like 3 or 4 seasons ago. Brisbane Heat used to have a really strong batting lineup, but the bowling would always let them down. The bowlers would always leave so much work for the batsmen to do. This is the Heat of like 3 or 4 years ago. It's Lynn on 46. Just struggling a little bit now that the pace is off. Away for a single. Just 2 singles to start this over. Kuhnemann drops it in. Matt Short lifts it over the fence for 6. Well, Chris Lynn has just slowed down a little bit now that the pace is off the ball, but Matt Short has gone up a couple of gears. Melbourne Stars 273 record is at risk, says Big Balls. Wide outside off, Short chops it away. Wow. J-Dog. Ahoy there, mate. Sorry, I don't always see every single comment that comes through. Swing and a miss. And bowled. Chris Lynn's gone for 47. Kuhnemann gets his man again. Doesn't get his 50. Well, he just slowed down a little bit when the spin came on. Matt Short elevated about 3 gears. But Chris Lynn hasn't been able to get clean contact since the spinners came on, and he's on his way. He's done the damage, though. Chris Lynn, 47 off 20 balls. And it's now 1 for 121. But yes, I do apologize, J-Dog. I can't always keep up with every comment that comes through, so I do apologize if I miss some. I'm a Heat fan also, and yes, it's looking very ugly. Very ugly indeed, as Alex Carey comes out to the crease. Gotcha. What's happening? Kuhnemann. Oh, Kuhnemann gets one to straighten on. A big appeal for LBW, but they've got no reviews left. I think there was a little inside edge on that anyway. But they have no reviews left. Well, Kuhnemann gets the breakthrough. And for the Brisbane Heat, that hopefully slows things down a little bit. Chris Lynn out for 47. Kuhnemann gets him again. Kuhnemann's got Lynn out quite a few times. 1 for 121. Wow. 1 for 121. 9 overs gone. Oh my God, those are the worst dancers' outfits I've ever seen in my life. Anyway. Spencer Johnson in for his second over. Pushed away to the offside for no run. Kuhnemann was the bowler. Yes. Kuhnemann, I believe he's got Chris Lynn out quite a few times. Matt, ahoy there, mate. Welcome back. Well, welcome back if you're the same Matt from earlier. Spencer Johnson bangs it in short, bangs it in too short. And Matthew Short just lifts it, helps it on its way down the leg side for 6. 74 off 35. Well, they always have the potential for this, the Strikers. Like, with Matt and Darcy Short, although I don't think Darcy's playing tonight, but Matt and Darcy Short, typically, Chris Lynn, like, they do have the ability to get off to starts like this. It's very rare that it all comes together at once, though, isn't it? Like, tonight, Matt Short and Chris Lynn both just clicked. From ball one, just clicked. And look at the result. It's similar to... Okay, I'll put you back... I'll leave you alone and put you back on your couch. It's similar to, like, the Bash Brothers concept with Brendan McCullum and Chris Lynn. They either fired or they didn't. I feel like the Strikers are the new Bash Brothers, right? That's the way it used to be for the Brisbane Heat back in the day. Johnson, wide outside off stump. Carey lifts it over the top of the infield. But Maxi Bryant runs around there at deep cover. Cuts it off. Joshua, Chris Lynn got 47. Off about 4 balls, I think. No, obviously not. But 18 deliveries, maybe? Oh, 20. Yeah, 47 off 20. Chris Lynn, before he was finally out. Beautiful ball, that one from Johnson, full and right on middle stump. Mitchell Munro says, do I think the Thunder can win the BBL? No, I don't think so, to be honest. They'll be in the... I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the finals. But I'm not sold on the fact that they can win. I'll tell you, the Hobart Hurricanes would have to be favourites, right? Or the Sixers. But the Sydney Sixers are not going to have Steve Smith for the finals. Steve Smith's only playing 3 games, so if he's even playing 3 games. So I think the Hobart Hurricanes are the best poised. 10 overs gone. It's 1 for 134. Yes, you heard that correctly. 1 for 134. 10 overs gone. And of course it would be my team, the Brisbane Heat, that dish up this kind of garbage. Of course. I mean, it just had to be. Oh, no, the FBI's back. What have I done this time? Whatever it is, I swear I didn't do it. I swear to God, that greenhouse in the back is herbs and spices for cooking. It is not a marijuana garden. It's all good, FBI. I'm just mucking around, having a laugh, of course. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. One for 134. The Strikers off to an amazing start here. Matt Short put in on a clinic, 75 off 36. What team do I go for? The Adelaide Strikers. No, I go for the Brisbane Heat. And unfortunately, apart from last year, as a Brisbane Heat supporter, very, very used to performances like this. Brisbane Heat won, I think the Brisbane Heat won the second BBL, if I'm not mistaken. BBL 2 or 3, I think. They won it pretty early on, and then just nothing. Nothing until last year. And for some reason, most of the star players from last year, they let go. Retained the garbage ones. And here we are. We suck again. Xavier Butt. They're talking to Colin Munro, the Brisbane Heat captain, on the mic, as the power surge is called. Power surge has been called here. They've gone for it immediately, and why wouldn't you with Matt Short out there? They could get about 24 plus runs and over with Matt Short out there. One for 134. The power surge has been called. Xavier Bartlett, none for 26 of his 2 so far. Who can turn things around here for the Brisbane Heat? Slower ball. And it's just punched down to mid-on, for a single. Yeah, pretty sure that the Thunder. I'm not sure if Daniel Samson is coming back. Daniel Samson and Cameron Bancroft. Well, Bancroft's back already, isn't he? I mean, he didn't play the other night, but that's a pretty big out. So I'm just concerned about the depth of the squad for the Thunder at the moment. I mean, Dan Christian was pulled out of retirement. If you've got to pull guys out of retirement just to fill your squad, and look, Dan Christian's a great player to be able to pull out of retirement, don't get me wrong. As Matt Short lofts this down the ground for 6, 82 of 38. But if you don't have enough players to cover injuries and you're pulling a Dan Christian out of retirement, I'd be a little bit concerned if they don't get Sams back. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm trying to say? Just don't know that the Thunder have the legs to get all the way through. I think they'll get to the finals, though. I think the top 4 at the moment, 3 of the top 4 anyway, I think that top 3 as it stands right now are pretty secure. Slower ball, full and on the toes. Punch down the ground for 4. Well, Matt Short can just not hit the ball at the moment. Down the ground for 4. 12 of this over so far. One for 146. Two deliveries left. Leaping out to the right. Was that Neser? Leaping out to the right there at mid-on. And he drops the catch. A very, very difficult chance. But it's gone into that big mitt. And then it spills straight back out. A very, very tough chance. But he'll be disappointed that that one hasn't stuck. Carey back on strike now. Lifts it over the offside, and that's 6. Just scoops it up over the left, over the offside for 6. Over the cover boundary. Oh, this is getting nasty. Highest Big Bash total at Adelaide Oval. 5 for 232. That's in massive danger. That score is in massive, massive danger. Carey didn't even swing through on that. He just lifted it over the offside. The Strikers have taken personal offense to being on the bottom of the table. And they're going to make sure that they get themselves off the bottom of the table here tonight. That's my takeaway from this. The way that things have started here. They don't need to worry about the power surge at the moment. Well, they've already taken it, is the thing, so they probably didn't need to take it so soon, but Spencer Johnson back into the attack, and what this means, though, is the Brisbane Heat, they're using their frontline bowlers a lot earlier than they probably wanted to because they've got to try and get breakthroughs. Short on 87. That's wide down the leg side. He'll have to bowl that one again, Johnson. Chris Lynn got 47 of 20 balls, Noah. Good win for the Sixers. Taking them to the top of the table. And the Perth Scorchers in big trouble. XJC, ahoy, mate. Johnson bangs this one in shorter. An air swing and a valuable dot ball. Shano, ahoy mate. How good was Steve Smith's innings? It was something special, all right. Dropped on 31, and he made them pay to full effect. Short on 87. Full toss driven down the ground for Short goes to 91 or 42. I'll tell you what, we're talking about Steve Smith's knock. Matt Short is raising his hand and saying, what about me? One for 158, 11.3. Matt Short trumps Smith tonight at the moment, for sure. Johnson bangs this one in really short, and it's called a wide. The home crowd is delighted. 1 for 159. We always say, every single stream, we say it. Don't judge a pitch until both teams have batted. But, bloody hell, I'm judging this one pretty quickly. Short drives this one to the onside for 4, just lifting it off the pads for another boundary. 1 for 163. Short goes to 95 or 44. He was watching that Steve Smith innings and just going, everyone's so impressed with that. Watch this. How many overs in? 11.4. 1 for 163, 11.4 overs. Two 50s on the cards here. 270s on the cards here. Johnson with 2 balls left. That's way too high. The appeal for LBW. They've got no reviews left anyway, but way too high. And through for a leg bye. There is not enough booze in the world for Brisbane Heat supporters tonight. I'm telling you. I mean, look, I'm nearly empty. One for 164. Final ball of the power surge. I would say that it's been a monstrous power surge for the Strikers, but it really hasn't been. It hasn't been any different to a regular over. 1 for 164, 12 overs gone. Incredible. Will Main asking if they could beat the most runs in a game by the Stars, 273. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's eight overs to go. They've been going at over 12 and 0. Hang on, where's my calculator? I need a calculator here because I'm not very good at maths. I'm not a big mathematician. So let's see. There's 8 overs to go. They've been going at over 12 and over the entire innings, basically. So that's 96 more runs. Plus the 165 they've already got. Gets them to 261. So with a couple of, like, big overs, it could be under threat. Kuhnemann starts with a wide. And this one's now cut away from short. Out to the man at deep cover, just a single, 96 or 46. I've got to say that if the Brisbane Heat still had Josh Brown and move Max Bryant up to open, bowled him. Kuhnemann's clean bowled Carey. Well, Kuhnemann is the only bowler doing anything tonight, and that is just disastrous considering his figures are not that good. 2.2 overs, 2 for 32. He's taking the wickets, but he is still getting absolutely tonked. But Kuhnemann sends Carey back to the dugout. Carey? What am I watching? The NRL and Luke Carey? Carey. Alex Carey. Wrong sport, Dan. Focus. Focus, mate. Alex Carey on his way for 13 off 8. And Steve Smith really has been the only batsman to come back from test duty and do any good. I think we all know the answer to that one. STC. Andy, Heat, clutch up, trust. Renshaw will get 70 and McSweeney will get 50. Well, they're going to need it. They're going to need every single bit of it. Hope. Out to the crease. Starts with a dot ball. Dangerous Dan. Go the Strikers. Kuhnemann floats it up. Hope cuts it away for a single. Brings short on strike, 96 or 46. This is the big wicket. Kuhnemann to short. Puts it wide. Wide on the offside. And it's been called. That is the threat of Matt Short. Forcing Kuhnemann to send that delivery wide on the offside. He doesn't want to put anything into the zone. Short just chops it down the ground for one. Hope back on strike. 5 runs and a wicket off this over for Kuhnemann. The best over so far, which is just embarrassing that this is the best over so far. 6 runs and a wicket from it. Kuhnemann, 2 for 36 off 3 overs so far. The Strikers, 2 for 170. 13 overs gone. Yes, you heard that correctly. 2 for 170 with 7 overs still to bat. Dash reckons the wicket is a road. It does look very flat, actually. Seen it on the TV. Well, as we always say, though, Brisbane Heat fans, hold out a little bit of hope. As we always say, never judge a wicket until both teams have batted on it. Hope goes the reverse. Paddles it over the top of square leg for 4. The boundaries just keep on rolling. The boundaries just rolling in. Jibber jabber, ahoy mate. Bowled him, Swepson bowls him. Hope backs away to give himself room. Swepson tosses one up that skids on, and it takes leg stump about halfway up. The third wicket falls. 3 for 170. Could they slow them down here? Wickets will be vital. And Nathan says, we're getting the wrong people out. We need to get Matt Short out. I don't think there's... I think Matt Short's going to get himself out. Alex Ross, another former Brisbane Heat player, out to the crease. Jibber jabber, you're going to the Thunder game on Monday. Very nice. Ross goes the reverse immediately, and they race through for a single. Matt Short on strike now, 97 or 47. Kenny banged the century home. 3 balls left here from Swepson. Nice ball there from Swepson. Short drives it back. Swepson taps it down, just a single. 98 or 48. He's not going to do anything dangerous from here on in, Matt Short. Two balls left. Ross backs away, gives himself room, cuts it through the gap for 4. That's a good shot. Alex Ross. He's off and running. 3 for 180. Oh, and Colin Munro's hurt his balls. Clutching at his groin there, I think. Yes. Oh, yeah. The hand is right up there over his sack. What's happened here? Let's get this on replay. Final ball, Swepson. Reverse again from Ross into the gap for 4 more. Oh, they're making this look easy. They are making this look so simple. 3 for 184, 14 overs gone. 13 runs and over. It has never dipped below that, I don't believe. So what have we got? 6 overs left. 13 by 6 is another 78 runs potentially. Plus the 184 they've got. Get some 262. That's just a monstrous total. And that 273 top score is in a lot of trouble. Speaking about a lot of trouble, yeah, Colin Munro. He's hurt himself. Matt Short on strike. Neser into the attack. Slower ball pulled away for 4. There's the century. Matt Short brings up his 100. 49 deliveries. He's trying to take away from Steve Smith's moment by going one better. $102 of 49 deliveries, 3 for 188, the Strikers. Punches it away to the offside for a single. They come back for two. That's well run. 3 for 190. They're going to have 200 up here in 15 overs by the looks of it. Six runs off this over so far from Neser. He's none for 33 off 2.4. Bangs it into the slot. There's protection out there as Short cuts it away. Protection out at points. And just a single. 3 for 191. This is insane. Matt Short, fastest 100 for the Strikers. 49 balls. Oh, he's feeling it. Matt Short, he is feeling it. Get him some water. Changes to the field for what it's worth. Ross on strike. A slow full delivery. Turned away to the leg side for one. You know that it's been a bad bowling display when you get excited about singles. Three for 192. Just when you thought you'd seen it all tonight, right? Slower ball, outside off, lifted, just short of Munro. Chance of a run out. But the throw goes through the hands of Neser, backing up there. Oh, he's gone, Munro. Yeah. He's hurt his finger now. Jeez, he's in the wars. Colin Munro, he was definitely holding on to his nuts at one point. Talk about hurting his shoulder, and now he's hurt his finger. Oh, Lisa, thank you very much for the hearts. Ahoy there. Slower ball right in the slot, and it's just drilled back down the ground. Matt Short is on fire. 109 he moves to. Three for 196, 15 overs gone. Five overs still left. A big, big score in the making here. This really is incredible. We have seen Steve Smith's innings in the game before. Matt Short now. Unbelievable. All these sixes there on the leg side. Or the onside at the very least. Some of them straight down the ground. This is incredible. It really is. 3 for 196. They'll bring the 200 up this over. Swepson to Ross. Ross backs away. Gets the under edge. Back past the keeper for one. For two. And it should be just two. Hey, JWR, ahoy there, mate. Yes, this is a monstrous score, and it is not done yet. Swepson to Ross, backs into his crease, turns it on the right hand side, turns it on the leg side, down to deep square leg for one. Port Adelaide 7, ahoy there. AFL team, go. I don't follow the AFL personally, but I used to watch it when I was a kid. I used to go for the Essendon Bombers. Swepson in again, floats it up. Short, down on one knee, lifts it into the outfield. And the fielder plants himself under it, takes the catch. Matt Short is finally on his way. He goes for 109. What an innings, though. The nightmare is finally over for the Brisbane Heat. 3 for 199. Jamie Overton out to the crease. Sweeps the first one away. Down to square leg for a single. Alex Ross, 13 or 6. And maybe, just maybe, it'll slow things down here. But 4 for 200. I mean, the damage, well and truly done, right? The damage has been well and truly done. And Ross sweeps this one away over the square leg boundary for 6. Well, Matt Short departs. Alex Ross picks up the pieces. I'm fairly sure that Alex Ross is a former Brisbane Heat player. And if I remember correctly, and I'm thinking of the right person, he did bugger all when he was at the Heat. Absolutely bugger all when he played for us. He's now become a very, very reliable top to mid-order batsman. Swepson, 4 overs, 2 for 41. It's 4 for 206. 16 overs gone. 4 overs left. Okay. Colin Munro, dislocated finger and suspected shoulder injury. And Chris Lynn will not field due to hamstring tightness. So, some injury updates there. Chris Lynn is out for the rest of the game. He won't field. Colin Munro, a dislocated finger and a shoulder niggle. Should not prevent him from batting, but it might disrupt him. A dislocated finger, which will obviously get popped back in. But if you've ever dislocated a finger or a toe, that affects you for a couple of days. And Lord knows he's batting terribly anyway, so that's not going to help his cause. Johnson back into the attack. A nice full delivery to start. Just chopped away for a single. 4 for 207. Well, they're having a look at this. The suggestion is it might be a little closer than we thought. Lazy running from Overton. Yes, he's fine. He's safely home, but yeah, some lazy running there. Stick your bat out, mate. We were always taught, when I played, to slide the bat. Four for 207. Johnson to Ross. Right in the slot. And it just bounces in front of the fielder out there at deep mid-wicket, and it's through for 4. Spencer Johnson is not having a good night out. And an unhappy Spencer Johnson looks like The princess has just found out that he's actually evil, and she's left him. Four for 211. Well, the score has actually ended up being a little bit less than we were anticipating. They've managed to slow them down a wee bit. Follows it up with a dot ball. A nice reply there from Spencer. Four for 211. WTF, says Tyson Mini. Tell me about it, Tyson. Whew. Boy, oh boy. As a Brisbane Heat fan, this has been a very, very difficult watch. And there's still overs to go. Johnson in again. Ross tries to back away to the leg side. Johnson follows him. And that'll be leg by to the offside. Just the one run. Brisbane Heat currently clinging to fourth spot. This will be massive for the Scorchers. The Scorchers need the Brisbane Heat to lose this. Two balls left here for Johnson. Overton drives it down the ground, pushes hard on the first. They won't come back for the second. Yes, big for the Stars as well, Will Main. Absolutely. Definitely big for the Stars as well. Final ball of Johnson's spell. Wide outside off stump, cut away, but protection out there at backward point. Just a one run to finish. None for 45. Spencer Johnson off his 4 overs. It's not been a happy night out for him. It's not been a happy night out for the Brisbane Heat so far either. 4 for 215. Or 214, sorry. 17 overs gone. Oh, Paddy Hearn, thank you very much for the rose. Cheers. I will drink to that, sir. Ryder Beatty. Ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. First time watcher. Cheers. Wasted World of Sports live on YouTube, live on TikTok, providing alternative commentary for Big Bash, NRL, Super Rugby, as Alex Ross drills this one down the ground. It's a 6 over long on. And Alex Ross taking over where Matt Short left off. There is no reprieve here for the Brisbane Heat. Ross launches this one to the leg side, and it falls just short of the man on the boundary. Ross, 32 of 14. Centino. How many did Matt Short get? 105, I think, was his final score. Oh, 109. 109 or 54 balls. Ross lifts this one over the offside. Fielder is out there. Neser's under it, but misses it completely. Michael Neser, he never looked comfortable under that, and he's missed it completely. It's gone straight through the hands and into the rope for 4. Well, they just can't win a trick at the moment, the Brisbane Heat. Neser was under it. He's clutched at it, and it's gone straight through the big mittens and into the rope for 4. Kuhnemann floats it up again. Ross sweeps it away. Just the 1 run. 13 off this over so far. 4 for 226. Becomes 4 for 227. 17.4 gone. Well, I should imagine they're safe now for the 273 higher score by the Stars. Should be safe. Two left for Kuhnemann. Bowled him. Overton's gone. Jamie Overton trying to give himself room on the leg side. Kuhnemann followed him. Gets the outside edge back onto the stumps. Kuhnemann gets a 3rd. The only one of the Brisbane Heat bowlers really. And Swepson as well, I suppose. Swepson as well, I guess. Can hold his head high a little bit. Five for 227. 17.5 gone. But Alex Ross, I swear, as a Brisbane Heat fan, Alex Ross, I'm fairly certain, used to play for the Heat, and he did nothing. France route to glory. Thoughts on Smithy's 121? It was very impressive, wasn't it? A very impressive innings. Darcy Short into bat. Well, there you go. He is playing tonight. He's just well down the order. 1 ball left here for Kuhnemann. Floats it up. Darcy Short just dabs this one down to long off for a single. 5 for 228. Two overs to go. Cameron can't believe that Darcy Short is just coming in now. Yeah, I've got a feeling that maybe Darcy Short's not 100%. That's the only reason I can think of that Darcy's coming in so low in the batting order. Maybe he's just not 100% tonight, so hold him back until absolutely necessary. Xavier Bartlett back into the attack. Starts with a dot. .1 overs gone. 5 for 228. They've pulled it back a little bit, the Brisbane Heat. Considering the way that the Strikers started, and it looked like, I mean, we were talking about that biggest total ever as Bartlett takes the pace off it, and they'll come through for a leg bye. Five for 229. Darcy Short's 100th Big Bash match. There you go. A little milestone there for Darcy Short. But it is interesting. I would like to know what the deal is there. Darcy Short coming in so low in the batting order. Bartlett wide outside off stump. Ross lifts it over the infield. Protection out there on the boundary. McSweeney fires it back in. No, they should have come through for 2 there. Ross to retain the strike. Highest total for the Strikers previously was 230 against the Hurricanes. Bartlett wide outside off, lifted over the top of the ring for 4. Alex Ross is in fine form tonight. He moves to 43. No, he doesn't. He moves to 39. I've given him four free runs. It's 5 for 235. What can they end up here? The Strikers. Bartlett again takes the pace off. And it's just chopped back down the ground to long on for a single. Two deliveries remaining. Ross has gone to 44 off 19. The runs are flowing tonight. Darcy Short tries to punish this one down the ground, doesn't get close to getting hold of it. And they're trying to race through this over here. They must be behind. Well, we've seen it pretty much all Big Bash. Basically, the entire Big Bash, we've seen teams slower than the over rate. They're trying to race through here. Alex Ross just taking over from where Matt Short left off. And here we go. Neser to bowl the last. He's not had a good night out, Neser. None for 39 off his 3 overs so far. And Darcy Short starts with 2 down the ground to long off. So 5 for 238. I mean, considering where things could have ended up here for the Brisbane Heat. Well, they might still end up there. Darcy Short pulls this to the onside. On the fence. It's thrown back in field, but just away from the fielder. Away from McSweeney. Renshaw on the boundary does well. But he needed to throw it closer to his teammate there. They're going to have a look at this. Renshaw plants himself on the fence. Tosses it back in. He saves the 6. But he needed to throw this more towards McSweeney. He's just thrown it straight in front of him. But it does save a 6. Well, this is not going to be saved. Darcy Short goes straight down the ground. And just over the rope for 6. There was no stopping that one. Caden Corey, I wish the Brisbane Heat were batting. Unfortunately, they're doing their interpretation of bowling at the moment. Seth, the Cricket Kid, thank you very much for the ice cream cone. Five for 247. 3 balls left in the innings. Neser has had a night to forget. The Brisbane Heat at the moment having a night to forget. Neser in again. Full ball driven down the ground. They push hard on this first single. They'll come back for another. 2 runs comfortably in the end. One ball to go. Neser, can he come up with a dot? A miraculous dot ball. Christian, 815, ahoy, mate. Oh, 2 balls to go. Sorry, 2 balls left. Darcy short on strike. Neser in, bangs it in short. Darcy has a swing at this and misses it through to the keeper. And a dot ball. Need another one of those. UTS Chicken 77 says, holy strikers. Final ball of the innings. Neser to Darcy short. Right in the slot. Short lifts it up, and it's been taken in the outfield by McSweeney. Maybe it's dropped short of him. He wants to have a look. It's either a dot ball and a wicket, or they've come back for 2 runs. They're going to have a look, and we'll see. It's either going to be 6 for 249 or 5 for 251. We've got to have a look at that. But the Strikers batsmen have left the field anyway. They're going to get ready to come out and field. Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be absolutely hilarious if this was found out to be a no ball and the batsmen had to come back out? The batsmen have left the field and they've tossed their helmets aside and everything, and it looks like McSweeney's caught this. Fingers under the ball. Does it stay in? It does. That is a great catch for McSweeney. He's got both hands under it. He's got a nice cup form there, McSweeney. Fingers under the ball. Going to the screen for the call. And the call is 2 runs. Well, he's not giving it out. So 5 for 251. What an innings it's been for the Adelaide Strikers. The Brisbane Heat with a lot to do here in this run chase. They're going to need every single bit of Max Bryant, every single bit of McSweeney, every single bit of Renshaw. The batsmen are going to have to fire, is basically what I'm trying to say. Run chase coming up after this. Thanks for being with us so far. West of Water Sports. I'll have a quick break, and we'll be right back for the run chase. Can the Brisbane Heat pull it off? We'll find out right after this. Wasted Water Sports, welcome back. We'll see if we can get an update on Colin Munro. Look, he had a dislocated finger and a slight shoulder complaint. I would dare say that he comes out and bats. Whether or not he opens or not, I suppose it depends on the extent of that shoulder injury or that shoulder niggle. But from what I understand, from what they said, a dislocated finger, I mean, that's not really anything here or there, is it? A dislocated finger. Nothing here nor there. But the shoulder could be a big issue, depending on the extent of the shoulder injury. But we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. What a performance it's been thus far, though, from the... Oh, good Lord, what happened there? What a performance it's been, though, for the Adelaide Strikers. Mads has got a feeling the Heat will win. Well, I certainly hope that you're correct. As a Brisbane Heat supporter... Certainly hoping so. It's going to require a very, very big chase. Let's see. What are the bookmakers saying? I'm sure that the bookmakers would have the Adelaide Strikers as very clear favourites on the back of that. Surely, surely, surely. Whoa! Whoa! Wow! Yes, indeed. Okay, I have never seen odds like this. The Adelaide Strikers are $1.04 favourites. The Brisbane Heat paying $10 for the win. I mean, it's almost worth chucking $10 on, isn't it? It's honestly almost worth just chucking some spare change on at $10 just for the hell of it. It's worth 20, says D-Funk. There you go. Jamar Chase says the Heat are cooked. At $10, though. My concern this season for the Heat's always been the batting depth. If Renshaw doesn't fire, if Bryant doesn't fire, where do the runs come from? There's a lot of reliance there on just a couple of shoulders doing the heavy lifting. But if they get going, it's certainly not out of the question. It's obviously going to take a monstrous effort. All right, so an update on Colin Munro. There is a lot of uncertainty over whether he's going to bat or not. So safe to say that he won't be opening. At the very least, he won't be opening. He may come out and bat if required. It might be one of those Ben McDermott kind of scenarios that we saw the other night. We'll have to see. It's going to be a massive, massive effort. Paddy Hearn, you reckon the Heat will be able to come back? Any faith at all? I never have faith in my team, ever. But we'll wait and see. At $10, it's worth a punt. Honestly, a spare 10 or $20, as D-Funk suggested, at a $10 payout. It's worth the risk. Because you just never know. Oh, gee. All right, there we go. That's better. Yes, cricket fluctuations are crazy. That's why I love cricket. Is my favorite sport to trade on. If anyone's done any sports trading, it's my favorite sport to trade on just because it fluctuates so wildly. One wicket, one big over, and the odds just go haywire. It is the perfect sport for trading. Yes, Paddy Hearn noticed cricket's the best, then the NFL, NRL, B-ball. That's your order for main sports. Very nice. Tennis is also a good one too. Actually, tennis is a good one to trade on as well because an entire set, the odds for an entire set potentially hinge on who is serving the first game of that set. Whoever's serving the first game of the set has the advantage in the odds, typically. So there's many trading opportunities there. Especially when you've got a situation where, like one of the top players in the world, that would be at the moment, that'd be like Jannik Sinner or a Novak Djokovic, right? Whilst they might still be the favourite overall for the match, there's just little fluctuations in the odds depending on who's serving first. So yes, it is a worthy one to follow when we're talking about trading or live betting. The markets can swing quite wildly. Five for 2, 5-1. We've seen some big scores tonight. Some monstrous totals in both the games. It really has been a wild night here on the Big Bash. How often do teams chase this much of a lead? I would have to say not very often. One of the most memorable moments for me was Australia were playing South Africa in a one-dayer. So it was a 50-over game. And I actually had work the next day. But I sat up watching this thing. And now it was over in South Africa. And it was one of those South African grounds with really small boundaries. Australia set just a monumental total. I'll see if I can find it. Actually, South Africa highest ODI chase versus Australia. Okay, so Australia, the 5th one-day international in the 2005-2006 series. South Africa were set a score. Australia batted first, and they scored 433 of their 50 overs. And South Africa successfully chased it down, I'm pretty sure, with balls to spare. I mean, well, obviously with balls to spare, but I mean with a substantial amount of time left. And now it was a very small ground. But still, I was supposed to work the next day, and I sat up watching this thing because it was just so... okay. It wasn't with balls to spare. They chased it down in 49.5 overs. Let's have a look at the scorecard. Actually, Adam Gilchrist and Simon Kadich were the openers for Australia, but it was Ricky Ponting, 164 of 105, who did the most damage. But yeah, setting a total of 433. South Africa chased it down with a ball to spare. Because I remember that. I called up. I rang up work the next day. And my boss was very, very, very cool. It was a very casual place to work. And my boss was cool about it all. He was a sports fan. And I've called up and said, hey, mate, do you really need me today? Because here's what's happened. I've sat up and watched the cricket. And bloody, this is what's happened. Australia got 433 and bloody lost. He goes, what? You're joking. I said, no, 433. And South Africa chased it down with a ball to spare. Linda, thank you very much for the heart me. France, route to glory. What has happened here? What did I miss? 250. Was I back in Australia back then? Oh, hell no. Hell no. I was cheering on the Proteas all the way. But my boss was an Australian fan, so... When talking to an Australian fan, I wasn't going to be like... And especially an Australian fan that was my boss. I wasn't going to be like, South Africa won! Get that up, ya! Especially since I was calling to ask for the day off, because I'd sat up watching it all night. I'm going to go, Australia set this total and bloody lost. Can you believe it? You see what I mean? First ball of the run chase. Here we go. Brisbane Heat opening with Wood. A beautiful outswinger from Doggett to start. Right on target and a dot ball. The required run rate, 12.6. I follow back. What ground is this game? Or the South Africa game that I was talking about? Beats the outside edge. Well bowled by Doggett. 2 dot balls to start. This one in Adelaide Oval, I guess. Adelaide are the home team. Oh, yes, Adelaide Oval. Two dot balls to start. Doggett in again. Wood looks to pull it away. Doesn't get to the timing of this one. And Neser opening the batting. Yes, very interesting indeed. Colin Munro. It'll be questionable if he even comes out to bat. Jeez. I would have thought that Max Bryant gets bumped up the... I would have thought that Max Bryant gets bumped up the order for sure. But anyway. Let's see how Neser goes. He's had a shocking night with the ball, and he slashes at this outside off stump and comes up with nothing but air. Three dot balls and a single to start. Not a good one for the Heat. Especially when they've got a motor along at 13 and over. Good Lord, Adam Gilchrist is looking very old now. I mean, it happens. I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing. It happens to all of us, but geez, he's aged rapidly. Swing and a miss. And the Brisbane Heat just can't make contact at the moment. 4 dot balls and a single. And this is good bowling from Doggett. And they are taking this run chase away from the Brisbane Heat almost immediately. Max Bryant would have been the one to open. Surely, I would have thought. But anyway, Neser backs away, pulls it over the leg side for 4. Well, there we go. They've started. None for 5 after 1:13, the required run rate. Obviously needing a lot more of that, the Brisbane Heat. Well bowled from Doggett, despite the boundary off the last ball. And for Neser, it's a chance to make up for what was a really poor bowling performance. What in God's name is that? Haskett. Liam Haskett, Big Bash debut. What a big over to be asked to bowl here on debut. Pushed down to mid-off for a quick single. I suppose if you're going to ask a youngster to debut in a power play, you may as well have it happen when you've got 251 runs to defend. Plenty of runs to play with. Give him an over. Throw him into the fire. Give him an over. Why not? Bangs this one in short. Neser pulls it away over the top of the circle, but there's protection out there. They come back for 2. Very well run. Cricket Crips. Ahoy there. Great score from my Strikers. Bloody oath. Big score. Fortnight on top. Ahoy there. Welcome along. Haskett. 3 off the over so far. No boundaries. Just a single and a 2. Neser's opening because Colin Munro is off injured. Big swing and a miss at this, and it only just grazes over the top of middle stump. Neser coming up with nothing but air. I appreciate that probably still doesn't answer your question, because we were talking about, surely with the injury to Colin Munro, Max Bryant opens the batting. I would have thought. As a former opening batsman, Max Bryant just elevates up the order. But yeah, Neser, that's better. He gets all of that, Neser, and maybe that's why he's opening. A little too short there from Haskett, and Neser just pulls it over square leg for 6. Pretty sure Max Bryant could have done that too, though. Or even Renshaw. Renshaw could open. Matty Renshaw and Max Bryant to open. I don't know. Anyway, Neser, he's had a few air swings, but he's had a couple of big hits as well, so none for 14. Backs away, gives himself room, pulls it into the outfield, over the rope for 6. And Haskett on debut, thrown to the fire. And giving away a big over here at the moment. The other thing that I can think of is Neser's obviously capable of doing just what he's doing right now with the big hits. And maybe the way of thinking is that Max Bryant is going to be a lot more valuable coming in later in the innings if this chase is on. Send Neser out there with a license to just hit from ball 1. And if he loses his wicket, he loses his wicket. And he loses his wicket. Chops it straight to the man at backward point. Haskett with the ultimate response on debut. Getting absolutely tonked. Tosses up the last ball, and Neser just chips it straight to the man at backward point. To Alex Ross. And there's the first wicket down And I guess that's what we were talking about. Send Neser out there with a license to hit 18 off 8. If he loses his wicket, so what? He's not really one of our batsmen anyway. You know what I mean? Maybe. If that was Max Bryant right now, you might be talking about, well, that could be game over. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm just trying to make this make sense. That's all. I'm not saying I'm right. Matt Short had a really good game today. Indeed. McSweeney now out to the crease. 1 for 20. 2 overs gone. Fortnight on top. Unfortunately, I'm a Brisbane Heat supporter. Wood turns this off the hips. No protection out there. And 4 runs down to fine leg. Good start to the over for Wood. The only thing I can think of, big balls, is the only thing I can think of. Sorry, I hope you don't mind me calling you big balls as well, by the way. Okay, let me say it correctly. Big ball Sigma man, 9,000. I've just been calling you big balls all night. I've just realized you might not actually appreciate that. The only thing I can think of is that Neser's capable of big hits. We saw it. He's capable of hitting sixes. Colin Munro's injured, may not even bat at all. Certainly wasn't going to open the batting. The only thing I can think of is that they've sent Neser out there with a license to just hit. And as he's not really considered one of the top batsmen, if he gets out, he gets out. If he gets some quick runs, he gets some quick runs. Much better to lose Neser early, going for the big hits, than a Renshaw or a Bryant, you know? Those guys might be just more valuable coming in later in the innings. That's the only thing I can think of to make it make sense. Otherwise, I probably would have had Max Bryant boosted up the order. 5 runs from this over so far, 4 a leg by and another single. 1 for 26 of 2.3. And yes, we are just trying to make sense of Neser opening the batting. And that's the only explanation I can come up with that makes any degree of sense. Bangs this one in short. Wood lifts it fine on the leg side, but it'll be cut off. And they come back for 2. Current run rate, 10.5. The required run rate, 12.92. And much like in the Scorchers game, the critical thing will be just making sure that they keep it, that required run rate, that is, they keep that around that 13 mark and not let it break out too far beyond it. As Wood just pushes this to the offside for another single. 1 for 29. 2.5 overs gone, so they're keeping it around 10 runs and over. Big scores today indeed. McSweeney goes the ramp, scoops it straight up in the air, and he's very lucky to get away with that. And then he's almost run out down the non-strikers end. Straight off the toe of the bat there, McSweeney, and that stupid ramp shot. Well, they're taking a look at this. The run-out chance at the bowler's end, I think he was home safely. Very, very well. Very well home. He was past the stumps. One for 30, 3 overs gone, so they're travelling along okay here at 10 and over. It's nowhere near the pace that the Strikers were going at. Very nice fortnight on top. It's been a rough night for us Brisbane Heat supporters. Haskett back into the attack. McSweeney drives him away on the offside for 4. That's a good shot. That is much better shot. A traditional off drive. None of this stupid ramp nonsense. And that is a beautiful 4. McSweeney off and running. Traditional cricket shots. You love to see it. Haskett again gives him a nice half volley to just drive down the ground. A lovely straight drive. And back-to-back boundaries here for McSweeney. Traditional cricket shots. See? Forget the ramp. Beautiful drives from McSweeney, both of them. Just classic cricket strokes. Timed to perfection, both of them. Back-to-back 4s. Haskett, he'll be under pressure now on debut. Bangs it in shorter, and McSweeney lifts it over the onside for 6. Oh, McSweeney. It could be his... No, oh, I'm not even going to say it. I don't want to jinx... Oh, God, I already said it, didn't I? He just rocks onto the back foot and lifts this over the leg side for 6. 4, 4, 6. Taken in the crowd. Nice catch there, mate. 1 for 44. Oh, he looks so proud of himself there. The supporter in the crowd there made it look easy. All right, pressure on Haskett. Inside edge, back past the keeper for 4 more. Well, a little bit lucky on this occasion, McSweeney. The French cut. And a little bit of luck goes a long, long way. McSweeney moves to 20 of 6. One for 48. And the Heat need a little bit of luck. Nick Clark says, welcome to the BBL, Haskett. In fairness, Haskett has got a wicket. It was only the wicket of Neser, but a wicket nonetheless as well. But he's getting absolutely tonked in this over, isn't he? 1 for 33 off 1.4. McSweeney tries to lift this over the offside. Finds Overton at in the covers and races back to the crease as Wood diving to get back home. A dot ball at last for Haskett. .52, the run rate here on the back of McSweeney's big hitting. 12.62 is what's required. They're keeping it in track at the moment. The final ball of the power play. A slower one, McSweeney turns it off the pads, scoops it into the gap, and they'll come back for 2. 1 for 50. A decent power play for the Brisbane Heat, and maybe they should have just opened with McSweeney. The Neser experiment, perhaps a little bit of a fail. But probably going to have to do this with one less batsman. Colin Munro might not be able to offer too much, even if he does get out there to bat. It sounds like he's not going to bat. 3 teams getting over 200 in one night is insane, and possibly a 4th team about to do it as well. 1 for 50 after 4 overs here, the Brisbane Heat. Inside edge, was it? Wood. Big appeal from behind the stumps. But the umpire's not interested in that one. Good start, though, from Doggett. Coming straight into Bowley's 3rd over. Wood, 9 from 9, pulls this away into the gap. Just the single, and Wood being off strike might not be the worst thing in the world for the Brisbane Heat. 201 needed off 94 balls. McSweeney seems to have found the sweet spot with the bat nice and quickly. Wood, on the other hand, struggling to get the ball away. Goes the ramp, lifts it over the top of the keeper. There's protection out there. He can't beat the short fine leg, the deep fine leg, sorry, on the fence. They come back for 2, though. A high-risk shot for very little reward. .84, the required rate. Don't want that to drift up to 14 or beyond. McSweeney tries to pull this away. Doesn't get hold of it. They come through for 1. Thinking about a second. That would have been crazy. Common sense prevails, and they stick to just the 1. Trey, ahoy there, mate. Where's Khawaja and Marnus? Only allowed to play 1 game before they go back on test duty. And it's not this game. They're saving them for a Gabba match. For obvious reasons. I think they're saving them for a Gabba match anyway. I might be wrong about that, but it would make sense that if they're only allowed to play 1 game, that they would save them for a home game. Wood can't get to the pitch of this one. He's struggling, Wood. Yeah, Heat versus the Hurricanes, Thursday, the 16th of January at the Gabba. They're only here for 1 game, and it makes sense that it would be a home game to bring in the crowds and whatnot. Good bowling here from Doggett once again. And Wood goes after this one, lifts it onto the leg side. A fantastic effort in the outfield to save the boundary. Just thumping the ball back in field. And they raced back for a second, but it could have been 4, should have been 4. And they're going to have a look at this, but I think he's done well there, Haskett, to save this one. He got those big mitts on the ball and tapped it back in field. Just making sure that he hasn't stepped on the rope. I think we're all good there. All good there. He leaps. He keeps the feet in the air and taps it back. He's done amazing. He's done very well there, Haskett. Ollie, ahoy, mate. How are you tonight? Big ball, Sigma Man. Sigma Man. Heat have a 3.9% chance on the WinViz. Geez, we're having a close look at this. I reckon he saved it. Taking way too long to look at this. And there we go. Finally, UFC, ahoy, mate. Lloyd Pope into the attack. McSweeney backs away, chops it to the offside. Through the gap for just the one. Will Main. Ahoy, welcome back. Up the NRL, you got no money back. Hang on. Let me have a look at my resulted bets. Yeah, nothing yet. Oh, you've been here the whole time? Ah, fair enough. You just wanted to say ahoy. Fair enough. That's absolutely fine. Lloyd Pope floats this one up. Wood goes for the big drive on the offside, just over the top of cover for 4. He only just got that over the fielder's head. Dangerous, but a high reward in this case. One for 61. Pope floats it up again. Wood goes for the big shot. Down on one knee. Skies it. And he's got more than enough on that. That is down over the long on fence for 6. Here we go. Jack Wood has entered the party. 22 of 15. Here come the Brisbane Heat. Just down on one knee and scoops it up over the long on fence. Pope floats this one out a little wider. No call of a wide there, a dot ball. Wood refusing to get drawn into that shot. Final ball of this over. Pope's gone for 11. Tosses this one up. Nice and full. And just a single to finish. Well bowled by Pope in the end. 12 off the over, though. A little less than what they need, but still just keeping that required run rate maintainable. 1 for 67, 1 for 68 now after 6. $184 runs still required. They're certainly not disgracing themselves at the moment in this run. I love how I say at the moment. Not disgracing themselves at the moment here, the Brisbane Heat, in this run chase. Keeping themselves in it. But they might have to do it a batsman down. Let's not forget that. Colin Munro, questions abound as to whether he will bat or not. Buckingham Palace into the bowling attack. Is this another debutante? Wood on strike. Turns this one away for 1 onto the leg side. So a couple of debutantes here for the Strikers, eh? Jordan Buckingham on debut. Jordan Buckingham Palace. 1 for 69. McSweeney back on strike. 26 off 11. Travelling along nicely here, McSweeney. Nice ball from Buckingham. McSweeney turns it off the pads. They run hard for the first. They come back for the second. That's well run. Just dropped it into the gap on the leg side. And pushing hard for the 2 there. That was some quality running between the wickets there. 1 for 71. The scary thing is, and this is exactly what happened with the Scorchers as well, right? It's like 11.21 and over. They're going along so nicely under normal circumstances, but in the game situation, they're finding themselves behind, and that just puts pressure on. You look at that scoreboard and go 1 for 71 after 6.3. Geez, we're doing well here. But then you look up and you go, oh, we need 181 runs still at 13.4 and over. It's got to be a little demoralizing. Good start, this one here for Buckingham Palace. McSweeney rips this one from the offside. Over onto leg, and just a single. 4 runs only from this over so far. 2 balls to bowl. And it's been a good one from Buckingham. One for 72. 6.4 gone. Wood on strike. Just starting to find the middle of the bat. Wide outside off, turns it away. Well fielded on the circle, and they come through for a single. Well fielded on the circle there at point. Saves a boundary, but they come through for one. McSweeney will face the last ball. 5 off this over. It's a good one for Buckingham, a good one for the Strikers. Pressure on this last ball, pressure on the batting team. They've got to get a boundary away somehow. And that might just force McSweeney into a little ramp shot, get himself out. Down the pitch he goes, turns it onto the leg side, into that gap, wants to, gets to. Well run. 1 for 77 at the end of the 7th over. Keeping it maintainable here, the Brisbane Heat. Jamie Overton to bowl. Wood on strike. A nice full ball. Wood had no idea about that one. Just fends it back down the pitch. A dot ball. Good start from Overton. 13.62 the required run rate. That'll start to creep out a little bit with every dot ball. 13.79. Beautiful bowling. Bangs this one in a little shorter. Wood trying to lift it over the leg side. Ends up going through the covers. It's racing over the outfield. Well done to save the boundary, perhaps. Doggett. They'll have a look at this, but they've come back for a third, I think. They've run through for 3, but they'll check the boundary. It was a good effort there from Doggett, chasing that one down from mid-off all the way out to the fence. Slides, loses his hat. Pats the ball back into the field of play. Let's see if he's touching the rope, though. It could all be for naught. Great effort nonetheless. Doggett short of the rope there. I think he saved it. And that's a great effort. Only ends up saving 1, but how crucial could that 1 be? You never know. You just never know. Three runs, 4 officially saved. McSweeney on strike. Overton in again. Slower ball. Half volley right in the zone, and McSweeney deals with it. A beautiful on drive all the way down to the rope. McSweeney looks like he's in for a big one tonight. Hitting the ball very cleanly. One for 82. Overton, slower ball, outside off this time. McSweeney opens the face, guides it out to point for a single. Don't jinx him, yeah. I know, it's always so difficult, isn't it? Because you're commentating on a game, you're giving your opinion on a game, but at the same time, you're like, so you feel like you have to say things that relate to the game, but at the same time, yeah, you don't want to put the mockers on anybody, especially when it's your own team. When it's the Brisbane Heat, I certainly don't want to derail it. As Overton bangs it in short, and it's called a wide. It's gone above head height. Nine from this over. A boundary would make this a good over. They've just got to keep that required run rate, not let it blow out too far beyond 14, definitely not beyond 15. Wood clubs it back to the bowler. Overton throws the stumps down. But Wood was safely back in his crease. RJ, ahoy there. This is at the Adelaide Oval. The wicket is a bit of a road. The pitch, a bit of a road. And there's a short boundary. But still, nonetheless, fabulous batting from Matt Short and the Adelaide Strikers to get that big score. Final ball, a slower one. Wood skies it. There's a man back there at long on, but it falls well short and just sits up for him. They'll come through for a single to finish. 10 runs from that over. That's not enough for the Heat, but at least they're just keeping things under wraps. Okay. Oh, I thought we were getting an injury update. It's all good. 1 for 85, 8 overs gone. Under normal circumstances, a really, really good start here for the Brisbane Heat. Under normal circumstances, unfortunately, they need a little bit more than that, chasing down a humongous total. Kobe Medcraft. Ahoy there, mate. Do I play cricket? I don't play anything anymore. My playing days of all sports are long behind me. Oh, he's beaten him. Wood squares up. Big appeal for LBW. It's been given. Oh, they'll review this, surely. They will review this. It looked to have pitched outside leg stump. Darcy Shorts come on. Squared Wood up immediately, and they have called the review. It looked to have pitched outside leg. Surely you play the game Cricket 24? No. I am, was, and forever will be Shane Warne Cricket 99 on the PlayStation. What a game. Oh, now this is pitched very close to in line. Height could be an issue. Height might be umpire's call. Yeah, I think this is going to be out, actually. My initial reaction was that pitched a mile outside leg. But I reckon it's pitched perfectly in line with leg stump. I think he's gone here. Darcy Short's got the breakthrough. Oh, it pitches well in line. They've wasted their review now. Again, the Brisbane Heat. Woods on his way. It's 2 for 85. Darcy Short gets the breakthrough. Jack Woods on his way just when he was starting to look comfortable. 29 of 24. Honestly, though, how good was Shane Warne Cricket 99 on the PlayStation? What a game. Oh, squared him up. Beat him clean. Plum LBW in the end. Now, my first instinct was that was outside leg stump, but yeah, pitched right in line. Pitched in line with middle. Renshaw out to the crease. Short. Starting with a wicket. Renshaw backs away from the stumps. Opens up the stumps. They were interested. Cuts it away for a single. 2 for 86 here, the Heat. That required run rate now gone beyond 14 and over. McSweeney drives down to long off. Pushing hard for 2. Renshaw wants it. Well run. That was Renshaw's call. He was running to the danger end, and he always wanted 2 there. And that is some good running. 8.3 overs gone. 2 for 88. Short floats it up. McSweeney punches down the ground. Renshaw wanted 2 again. Jeez. He's full of enthusiasm, Renshaw. But there was never 2 there. A wicket and 4 runs off this over. A good one for the Strikers. Renshaw dances down the pitch, hits it straight to the man at cover, and a dot ball. Renshaw slogs this one down to long on. 2 bounces to the fielder, and they'll come back for a second. Good over that one from Darcy Short. 1 for 6 off it. A good one for the Strikers. That required run rate now for the Brisbane Heat drifts out beyond 14 and over. Out beyond 14 and a half. They don't want it to get up to 15 or beyond. They might not have a choice about it, though, is the thing. They're going to have to pick their targets. They're going to have to pick the bowling targets. Lloyd Pope. None for 12 off his first. Do they take on Pope? McSweeney on strike. 39 off 19. Chops this away to the offside. Out to the man at deep point. Just the 1 run to start. 14.64. The required run rate going into this over. It is a big, big ask here for the Brisbane Heat. McSweeney moves to 40. Could be the key here. McSweeney, Renshaw, and Bryant. The key batsman. Renshaw backs away, gives himself room, turns it to the leg side. Just another run. 1 single. So batting to come for the Brisbane Heat. Obviously, they've got Max Bryant still to come. Alsop. And then it's a bit light on. Colin Munro may or may not bat. But Colin Munro, Max Bryant, Tom Alsop, Xavier Bartlett's capable of hitting it over the fence, but you wouldn't list him as a batsman. So these are the key wickets here. McSweeney, Renshaw, Bryant, and whatever Colin Munro might be able to put together with his injury are the key wickets, the key run scorers here for the Heat. The power play has got to be massive. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They might consider holding off the power play for Max Bryant. Maybe. Renshaw cuts this away, or pulls this away, sorry, to the onside. Just a single, struggling to get things away here at the moment. The run rate has slowed down significantly here in the past few overs. McSweeney out to deep point for another single. 5 off that over. 10 overs gone. Well, they're bogged down a little bit here, the Heat. The drinks break. 2 for 96, 9.5 overs gone. They're well off the pace. 15.6 is the required run rate. Geez, if it was Renshaw and Bryant, you would call the power surge immediately. Wouldn't even question it. I think they have to anyway. They kind of have to, don't they? 15.6 is the required run rate. They're just starting to get a little bit bogged down. There's no point just prodding along for another 4 or 5 overs at a run rate under 10. They've got to try and swing this game somehow. We saw it happen their last game out when they turned the run chase around. They did it through the power surge. They're going to have to do it again. McSweeney's well and truly set. We'll see. We'll see. They might give Renshaw another over or 2. But, yeah, this is just getting out of hand a little bit here for the Brisbane Heat. That'll be interesting to see when they do call that surge. Renshaw and McSweeney. Lloyd Pope back into the attack. Well, if they called the surge, I wonder if the Strikers would switch it up there, take Pope out of the attack. But they called the power surge. It's been called. They have taken the power surge with Renshaw and McSweeney. Lloyd Pope to bowl. Well, this is the crucial moment of the game now. Overs 11 and 12. Renshaw and McSweeney. And it makes sense that they were bogged down, the Heat. They have to start scoring runs. The required run rate, 15.6 and over. You might argue that it's already... Oh, they have changed. Pope has been pulled out of the attack, and they've turned to Buckingham Palace to bowl the first of the power surge overs. They were not going to expose Lloyd Pope to this power surge. McSweeney on strike, 42 of 23. Buckingham Palace into bowl. McSweeney drives it away on the onside. They come back for 2. A chance of a run out. He's gone. McSweeney's gone. And that is the worst possible start to the power surge for the Brisbane Heat. Pushing for the second run. McSweeney diving to try and get into his ground, and I think he's gone. A run out is a diabolical way to start a power surge. He's gone by a mile. He's a long way out. McSweeney gone. And that will bring Max Bryant to the crease. Pushing for the second. 42 of 23. He's gone. Brisbane Heat 3 for 97. And Max Bryant will come out to the crease. Boy, oh boy. I feel like Matt Renshaw called that, and there was not two there. There was not two there. Once that was fielded, that might be Renshaw's call. He just turned and ran. Renshaw was already halfway down the wicket. Couldn't really send him back. All right. Max Bryant, he's got to go bang right from the word go. Renshaw and Bryant, we've seen what happened. They've done well in a power surge before, these two. They're going to need all of it tonight. And a beautiful delivery. Buckingham Palace on debut. He's bowling like he's been playing in Big Bash for about 6 years. Right on the money. Bang on middle and off stump. On the crease. Beautiful ball. Three for 97. Bryant turns it off the pads for just the one. Brings Renshaw on strike. 3 balls gone in the power surge. 1 run and a wicket. Very, very bad start, Taylor. Very bad start. Three for 98. And it got out of control very quickly. Run rate required now 16.2. Renshaw turns it off the pads for 4. Square of the wicket. No protection out there. And a much, much needed boundary. Buckingham, though, on debut, bowling well. None for 13 off 1.4. Five runs and a wicket off the surge so far. Fuller ball. Renshaw can only chop it down to mid-on for a single. They're missing out here. The Brisbane Heat missing out. The Strikers bowling extremely well. Buckingham on debut, none for 14 off 1.5 overs. Incredible bowling. Final ball of the first surge over. It's got to be a boundary. Bryant scoops it up over the offside for 6. That's more like it for the Brisbane Heat. Over deep cover for 6. But only 12 off the over. I mean, how about that? You say only 12 off the over because they need 16 and over to chase these runs down. Only 12 and over. Only 12 off that over. 84 metres for Max Bryant, but potentially some positive signs there for the Heat. Max Bryant seeing them early, hitting sixes early. It's what they need, and they need a lot more of them. 144 runs required to win. 54 balls. And Renshaw to face Overton. Jamie Overton to bowl. The second of the surge overs. Good call. He bowled well in his first over. Bangs this one in short. Renshaw. Inside edge onto the pads and away. Square of the wicket on the offside for a single. Three for 110. Overton. Starting well. Just a leg by... Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. .19, the required rate. Bryant on strike. Half volley there. Bryant scoops it up in the air. Will it be caught? Has he got enough on it? He does. It lands in behind the fielder, but it won't go for four. He got under it a little bit too much. And they come back for a second. A slower ball there from Overton. He'll feel like he's missed out there, Maxi Bryant. Ended up just scooping that one up in the air. Overton in again. Another slower ball. Bryant just punches it back down the ground for a single. This is a good over from Overton. 4 runs only from it. This is their power surge overs here, the Brisbane Heat. These deliveries are just wasting away. Renshaw pulls it away. Protection out there, though, at deep square leg. They come back for a second. Six from the over. Two deliveries left in the surge, and they have to be sixes, basically. They've got to be sixes. It's non-negotiable now for the Brisbane Heat. Has to be back-to-back sixes. Renshaw goes the ramp. Comes up with naught. They come through for a single. A cheeky single as Overton kicks the ball onto the stumps. And they've raced through for a sneaky single. Cheeky there from the Brisbane Heat batsman. And the final delivery now of the surge. They've really missed out here in the power surge. Max Bryant on strike. It's got to be a six. It is a six. He squared it over the leg side. Big hit. And they need a lot more of that now from Max Bryant. Finishes the surge in style, but well short of where they need to be. 3 for 122. 12 overs gone. They're a long, long way behind here, the Brisbane Heat. It'll take a monumental effort from here. Power surge gone. 8 overs remain. Lloyd Pope back into the attack, and Matt Renshaw has lifted him for 6. A good start to the over. Why is it that they've started the non-power surge over better than the power surge overs? Incredible. Pope now over adjusts, and it's a wide outside off stump. Seven from the over, a good start to it. Straightens it up. Renshaw scoops it onto the leg side. That's where the short boundary is, and it's gone way, way back into the crowd for another 6. 13 off this over. Pope under pressure. Renshaw suddenly 25 off however many balls he's faced. 91 metres this one. Square of the wicket on the leg side. Pope under pressure. Again wide. Outside off. Tries to lift it to the leg side, and it's dropped by Doggett. Diving forward, Doggett. It was in and it was out. And Renshaw's been given a life. They come back for a second. Diving in there at deep extra cover. Wide outside off again. Well fielded on the circle. Just a single. Maxi Bryant now on strike. 16 off this over. Just what they needed. The Brisbane Heat. They certainly needed an over like this. Just hovering about. Pope to Bryant. Gets away with that one. Oh, Maxi, that was right in the arc. Just turns it away to the offside for a single. Getting Renshaw on strike. I think the idea, though, Max Bryant there only ever had thoughts of getting Renshaw back on strike. Wants to drop down to one knee and slog that over the short fence. Pope floats it up. It's a full toss, and it's been given the treatment. Renshaw finishes with another 6. Targeting that short boundary against the slower bowler. And Pope has failed to adjust. 23 runs from that over. It was a big one for the Brisbane Heat. They needed an over like that. Boy, do they need an over like that. Big over, and it was off poor Lloyd Pope. He's gone for a couple of big ones in this BBL 14, hasn't he? And they turn to Buckingham Palace. None for 20 off his 2 so far. On debut, Buckingham bowling well. Renshaw 34 off 15. Bryant 17 off 7. Bryant on strike. Slower ball. Full. Right on the crease. Driven down to long on for a single. He's handled this extremely well, Buckingham. Big bash debut. None for 21. 2.1 overs bowled so far. I mean, really, really admirable effort. This partnership is 49 off 18. Scooped straight up in the air. Should be taken. And it is taken, and that's the end of Renshaw. Buckingham Palace on debut. Proving to be a big difference maker here for the Adelaide Strikers. Slightly off pace. Renshaw trying to turn it onto the leg side. Gets a leading edge. Pops it straight up in the air. And Matt Short, well, you can't keep him out of the game. Matt Short races around from mid-off to take the catch. And we'll find out in a second if Colin Munro is going to bat tonight or not. Or do they send out Alsop, the wicketkeeper? It is Alsop. The wicketkeeper is out there. So Munro is clearly not well. That injury to Munro's shoulder must be somewhat serious to hold him back this late in the batting order. Alsop coming in ahead of him. 4 for 146. 106 needed or 40. And Buckingham Palace 1 for 21, bowling extremely well on debut. And a dot ball to back up the wicket. This is impressive bowling for a debutant. The man's on debut, and you would swear that he's been playing for seasons upon seasons. Four for 146. Buckingham again on the money. Alsop just turns it straight to cover for another dot ball. Back on the captains tonight, Will Main. The good old faithful captains, and I've got to say, not enough of it, to be honest. Watching my team dish up a performance like this, I didn't buy enough. Driven down the ground to long on for a single. Max Bryant will face the last ball. 1 and over this has been. 2 runs and a wicket. And the required run rate now, 17. It is well and truly out of control now for the Heat. How many did Neser score? I think he got 18, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. How good was my memory? Let's check it out. Yeah, 18 off 8 balls. There we go. My memory is absolutely fine, apparently. Final ball of the over. Bryant looks to ramp it, scoop it back over the keeper's head. Chances of a comeback. Is there a number below 0? If there's a percentage chance below 0, that's what I'm going for. 105 off 36 balls. That is a big ask. 17.5, the required run rate. Now, if this were a game of stick cricket, it was mentioned in the chat room during the Adelaide Strikers innings that this was like a stick cricket score. If it was stick cricket, 17.5 and over is very gettable. Darcy Short now into bowl his second over. 1 for 6 off his first. Starts with a single to bring Bryant back on strike. Boy, it's been a long old night for the Brisbane Heat. 4 for 148. Bryant slog sweeps this one away. Doesn't get all of it, and he's out. And that, my friends, is the last hope for the Brisbane Heat. An easy catch in the outfield. I'll tell you all a game that I'm playing at the moment that I'm really enjoying. Hit Wicket. Hit Wicket on the iPhone. A really enjoyable game. If anybody has it, do feel free to add me as a friend. I've never added friends on it before, so I don't really know how to find people. Let's see if I can find it out. If I go add a friend, add with Hit Wicket ID. Okay. Well, my Hit Wicket ID is like a bunch of numbers, so it might not be easy to find. But anyway, that's a game that I'm playing a lot at the moment. Hit Wicket on the iOS. It's probably on Android as well. And yeah, it's a good lot of fun. Munro scoops this one up in the air. Caught down at long off. Another wicket falls. Six for 148. And it's just a matter of time now. The Adelaide Strikers they have got the W. And it's just the power surge overs really let themselves down there. The Brisbane Heat couldn't get going in the surge. And the Adelaide Strikers also have just bowled way better. Way better. And very deserving winners here tonight. The Adelaide Strikers in front of their home fans. And this competition is so tightly contested. The Brisbane Heat will stay in temporarily where they are on the table. Temporarily, at least. They will remain where they are. In fourth spot. The Strikers, though. The Strikers could jump above the Stars. As a matter of fact, they probably should jump above the Stars with their net run rate. Their net run rate will be vastly improved. And the Brisbane Heat are going to take a massive hit to their net run rate, but they're a point ahead of the Scorchers. But the Heat will be susceptible to the Renegades and the Stars tomorrow. All right, so my hit wicket ID is... Jesus, I saw this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Maybe I'll just type this in the chat room. That'll be easier. Alsop goes the reverse sweep. It's been dropped. There was almost another one there. Okay. Okay, VV. All right. I'll post this in the chat. I'm just going to ignore the game for a second. The catch is taken on the boundary. Xavier Bartlett's gone now. Another wicket falls. All right, VV 647 LM. All right. Oh, what does that say? It said my comment couldn't be posted. Okay, well, I'll just say it. So, for those just joining us, we're talking about the mobile game Hit Wicket, all one word, Hit Wicket. If you'd like to add me on Hit Wicket, my user ID or my Hit Wicket ID is capital V 647 lowercase LMZ 6 capital N. And I'll say that again. If everyone's ready to copy it down, I'll say it again momentarily. Because I wasn't allowed to post it into the chat room. It was a computer says no moment. So Hit Wicket, Taylor, is a fun little mobile game available on iOS and presumably Android. And you can do a clean bowl. Swepson's been bowled. Lloyd Pope gets another one. 2 in the over. And they are just crumbling here. The Brisbane Heat collapsing big time. Eight for 152. And it has been a really, really embarrassing performance for the Brisbane Heat tonight. All right, so for everyone who's got it, if you load it up and you go to the hamburger menu in the top right corner and friends, and then add friend with Hit Wicket ID, and I'll share the code once everybody's ready. I'll share the code again. Oh, he's missed this one. Appeal for LBW. Hope wanted a third one. Eight for 152. 16 overs gone. It has been an absolute spanking here. The Adelaide Strikers at home dismantling the poor old Brisbane Heat. Okay, so if we're all ready, my Hit Wicket ID, because I'm not allowed to post it. I'm not allowed to post it in my own chat room for some reason. All right, capital letters. V. 6, 4, 7. Now lowercase. L, M, Z. 6. Capital N. Let me know if we need it again. All right, sweet. Invites. I'll keep an eye out for that. Turned away for a single there, Alsup. Eight for 152, and just giving Haskett a little more experience here. And right in the slot, Alsup scoops it over the leg side for 6. Well, it was a half volley right in the swinging arc. And Alsup takes full advantage of that. The required run rate is 25.64. 25.64. What an embarrassment. Oh, I can't wait to jump on Facebook and see all the social media slamming as Alsup picks out the man at deep square leg. And another one bites the dust. 9 down now, the Brisbane Heat. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to jump on the Brisbane Heat Facebook page and see all the feedback on this one. They are going to get absolutely slammed on the back of this performance. Unbelievable. Darcy Short takes the catch. You can't keep the shorts out of the game. One more wicket to go. What a monster of a performance here from the Adelaide Strikers. It has been a performance and a half here at home. Oh, Brisbane Heat fans, devastating. Spencer Johnson on strike. Swing and a miss. It's away for a leg bye. Devastating performance. And they'll drop out of 4th spot regardless. When the Melbourne Renegades take on the Melbourne Stars tomorrow, the winner will replace the Brisbane Heat in the top 4 now. Taylor says, go Stars. Kuhnemann backs away, punches down to mid-off. They race through for a single. 9 for 160. $16.5 overs gone. Final ball here of Haskett's third. Johnson drives him down the ground. There's protection on the fence. And just a single to finish. So, the situation with the table, the Brisbane Heat will maintain 4th spot for now, but they are susceptible to the chasing pack. The Melbourne Renegades and the Melbourne Stars both on 6. The Brisbane Heat remain on 7 points. So whoever wins out of the Stars and the Renegades tomorrow will replace, guaranteed to replace, the Brisbane Heat in the top 4. They will leap above them by 1 point, so net run rate doesn't even matter. But the Brisbane Heat's net run rate has also copped a bollocking tonight, big time. Buckingham Palace. I love that. It's not over yet. They just need to hit 31. Just a casual 31 and over with their final wicket partnership. It's not like it's Jason Gillespie and Glenn McGrath out there batting against New Zealand. Spencer Johnson hammers this down the ground for 4. Nine for 165. A short ball pulled away. Well, Spencer Johnson. maybe Spencer Johnson is going to hit a casual 31 runs and over. He sends this one for 6. It's 10 off the first 2 balls. Nine for 171. Spencer Johnson, the number 11 batsman, showing the rest of the team how it's done. "81 runs needed." The required run rate drops down to, I love it, drops down to 30.38 and over. Goes the scoop shot. And he can't get hold of that. Johnson, just stick to traditional shots, mate. He's gone the ramp, and he's hit it straight into his own shoulder, the great big goof. He's ramped that into his own shoulder. Well, I've officially seen it all from the Brisbane Heat now tonight. I know that he's not a batsman, but I understand he's not a batsman, but geez, hitting the ball into yourself, that's next level. Now a traditional shot, heaves it square of the square on the onside for 6. How many sixes have there been in this game? Seriously. It's been unreal, the amount of boundaries that have been hit. And Spencer Johnson sends it 97 metres back. 9 for 177. And if only they weren't chasing such a big score, right? Like it's a situation of what if for the Brisbane Heat tonight. What if a more traditional score, they'd be well and truly on target. But they just let the Adelaide Strikers get way too many. Bucking him in again, wide outside off stump. And it's through to the keeper for a dot ball. Johnson got nowhere near that one. One ball left in this over. Buckingham Palace has done well on debut. Can he finish on a high note? Full toss. Sliced away from Johnson to the boundary for 4. 20 runs off that over. 9 for 181. 2 overs to go. 34.62, the required run rate. It's got to be all sixes. All sixes here. '71 runs. 71 runs required of 12 balls. Well, stranger things have happened. Not many, but... And the Strikers... Well, the Strikers have at least temporarily lifted themselves off the bottom of the table. The Stars to play the Renegades tomorrow. Oh. All right, 2 overs to go. I'll be right back. All right, Jamie Overton, a single and a dot ball to start. Nine for 182 here. What does this say? We've detected inactivity during your current live. Oh, that was ages ago. I already did that. Johnson edges this one away. 4 runs. Well, Spencer Johnson. Jeez, I mean, if you want to look at any positives... No, I don't think so, Will. Maybe, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I've added nobody on this thing. I just know that you can. Theoretically, I can also share a link. But anyway, I mean, it's a fun game to play anyway. With or without friends on there. Maybe I can investigate it a little bit more. And no, it wouldn't let me put the link. I tried to put the link in the chat before. It wouldn't let me. That's why we had to go through the whole I'll just slowly speak it out thing. Yeah, it wouldn't let me for some reason. But I can have a look into it and try and figure it out for the next stream, maybe. Overton with his last ball. Kuhnemann tries to go the ramp. Finishes with a dot. What a depressing performance this has been from the Brisbane Heat. 9 for 187. But I don't think you shouldn't have to upgrade, basically. Is what I'm saying. I have not spent a cent on this game. So, I've not spent a single dollar on it. Jeremy Westworth, ahoy there, mate. Big victory here for the Adelaide Strikers. The Heat have 0.1% chance on WinViz. How is it even 0.1? I mean, I'm fairly certain it should just be a clean 0, shouldn't it? Darcy Short. to Spencer Johnson. Cuts it away for one. Darcy Short bowling the last over. 3 for 8. Darcy Short off 2.1 overs. He has done exceptionally well. Floats this one up. Kuhnemann picks the gap and gets a 4. Nine for 192. Now honestly, 9 for 192 under normal circumstances is such a good score, right? You would not score 192 on many occasions and expect to lose the game, as Kuhnemann swings and misses at this one. But Chris Lynn and Matt Short, they were the difference makers, really. Matt Short especially. Full toss, way full, and it's turned away. They come back for a second. Now that's got to be close to a no ball, you would think. No, it's not called a no ball. Well, I think everyone just wants to go home, to be honest. Everyone just wants to go home at this point. So forget the rules. The rule book's out the window. Kuhnemann sweeps it away for a single. 9 for 195. Can they get themselves to 200 here, the Brisbane Heat? The final ball of the innings. It's Johnson on strike. He floats it outside of stump. Lifts it up in the air. Running in to take the catch is Buckingham Palace. Don't tell me. What a debut for Buckingham Palace. A catch now. Racing in from the outfield. Sliding across on his ass. Catches it nicely. The Brisbane Heat have been bowled out on the last ball of the innings. Bowled out for 195. Buckingham Palace, what a debut. Matt Short, though, man of the match. Doing the damage with the bat. And the Brisbane Heat pretty much had no chance. After they bowled so poorly and the Strikers batted so well, it was always going to be a monumental effort, and they didn't really even get close. Darcy Short, 4 for 15. Matt Short with his 105. Those would be my options for man of the match. Matt Short, though I would dare say, gets the nod. It'll be one of the shorts anyway. All right, Wasted World of Sports, thank you so much for your company. Very depressing for us Brisbane Heat supporters tonight. But the Adelaide Strikers, led by Chris Lynn and Matt Short, just way too good. And then backed up with some solid bowling. Big doubleheader. I'm tired. I'm furious at my own team. And I'm hungry. Tomorrow, Melbourne Derby. Melbourne Renegades versus the Melbourne Stars. The winner will replace the Brisbane Heat in the top 4. So a lot on the line tomorrow. I'll catch you then. Thank you so much for being with me for this one. Big doubleheader. Appreciate it as always. And until next time, cheers.